The demand to rename Qutub Minar to Vishnu's thumb has now turned into a legal battle. This after the Hindu side claimed that there are idols of Hindu deities that have been inside the Qutub complex area. And the Hindu side is also demanding that they now be given a right to worship, right to offer prayers within that premises of the Qutub Minar. The Delhi court today heard the plea, reserved the order for the 9th of June. What exactly happened and what is the controversy over the Qutub Minar complex? Take a look at this report.
Mega Qutub Wapsi war. Legal battle in Delhi court to reclaim Qutub Minar. Hindu groups claim 8th century idol, pre-Islamic Vishnu idols inside Qutub establishes its Hindu past. Clamour for restoration of Hindu and Jain relics at Qutub is only growing louder. Hindu side says they should be allowed to worship at Qutub complex, which it calls the Vishnu's thumb. Court, however, questioned petitioners, asking how can a monument be converted into a place of worship. The Archaeological Survey of India opposed the Mandir plea, saying there is no proof if the Hindu relics were in their original spot or brought from outside. Adding that Qutub Minar is a monument and no right to worship can be granted at Qutub.
When the monument comes under the protection of the ASI, from that date and 60 days thereafter, there is a period for raising objections. If objections are not received, then that character is frozen on that day.
Aam Aadmi Party MLA and Delhi Waqf Chief Amanatullah Khan said that there are all proofs available that Qutub Minar belonged to Muslims for decades.
ये तो एक पॉलिटिकल इशू है जो इस वक्त बीजेपी सारी चीजों को खत्म करके उलझाना चाहती है इन मस्जिद में और मंदिर के मसले में.
Meanwhile, offering namaz has been banned in Qutub complex by ASI. Muslim groups claim they have been offering namaz at Qutub from last 46 years.
सीधा ही कह दिया हमसे तो आप यहाँ नमाज मत पढ़िए, कुछ भी नहीं कहा, बस ऐसे ही कह दिया कि नमाज मत पढ़िए यहाँ पे. हमने कहा क्यों, कि ऊपर से ऑर्डर आया नमाज मत पढ़िए यहाँ पे.
आप कितने सालों से वहाँ नमाज हो रही है?
40 साल हो गए मुझे.
BJP questioned the Muslim side over namaz being banned.
ASI ने उन्हें कभी कोई परमिशन नहीं दी कि आप यहाँ नमाज पढ़ सकते हैं. तो जब उन्होंने परमिशन ही नहीं दी तो फिर वो नमाज अदा नहीं कर सकते वहाँ.
The Delhi court is all set to hear the Hindu side's plea for puja inside Qutub on June 9th.
Very interesting argument now raised by the ASI that we do not have any evidence to show where those idols or remains actually came from, and in any case for more than 100 years this complex has been frozen as a place where no worship has taken place, and therefore now at this late stage the Hindu side cannot raise a claim. In New Delhi, with cameraman Nasir, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
So what happened in the Delhi court today? Let me help you explain one by one what the petitioners are saying and what did the judge say. Let's begin. Now, the clamour that is going for Qutub Minar is not exactly over the Qutub Minar. It is about the premises and the complex area. And therefore, let me help you understand what did the Hindu side and the archaeological survey as well said. Now, the Hindu side has said, allow us the right to worship of the idols that have been there for as many years. The temple is more than 800 years old, even if there's no worship. But the ASI says they have opposed the plea to revive the temple because at this point they are saying it is under the ASI. Now the Hindu side, what are they saying? The Hindu side says that the temple, even if there was no worshipping happening, offering of prayers by the Hindus, the idols are there. So whether it's 800 or 8,000 years, responding to the judge said, it will always be a temple. Now the archaeological survey said, the premises came under the possession in 1914. There was no worshipping happening then. There was no objection raised, and therefore at that point that status quo will be maintained by the ASI. Remember, we're talking about a World Heritage Site here. Now, the Hindu side is therefore claiming the Places of Worship Act exempts ancient monuments and it includes the Qutub Minar complex as well. But the ASI has added that because of the status quo that has been there of the monument since 1914, since its possession with the Archaeological Survey, revival of worship cannot be permitted. It's very interesting because the Hindu side has asked they want the worshipping to be beginning. Now, How did the Hindu side then say about what if the other side is worshipping? They said it's only a so-called mosque, the Quwwat-ul-Islam mosque in the premises of Qutub Minar complex. There are no official prayers taking place. But the ASI therefore has added that yes, it is a fact that the temples have been destroyed, 27 temples have been destroyed to build the Qutub complex. And yet, because there have been no prayers happening either from the Hindu or the Muslim side, it cannot be revived. Now remember, this is the Hindu petitioner and the Archaeological Survey of India. Now I want you to understand what the judge has said. Remember in the past as well, in the Taj Mahal case specifically, the plea were not exactly entertained. But here, what the judge has said could actually be very interesting. The judge has asked pertinent questions today. On top, the judge asked in the Delhi court today, can we turn a monument into a temple by restoration? Because that has been a demand that has come from the Hindu side. The court has then also asked, how do you now come and claim a legal right over this monument after 800 years that you're saying idols have been there and found? Because all these years, there have been no legal claim that has come forth. The judge has accepted, saying that there are, of course, there are facts, historical ones, that the existence of idols cannot be disputed. But even if the idols have been there, can the right to worship be allowed, as the petitioners have asked? Is a remedy available for the right of worship? So this is a question and answer session that took place today in the Delhi court over the Qutub Minar case. And that the right of worship, according to the court, can be restricted over public order. So if this creates any sort of a law and order situation, the right to worship is not absolute and can be restricted. And finally, what are we expecting now? On 9th June, we're expecting an order in this case. But till then, in the next 1 week, both the parties, the Hindu side and the Archaeological Survey of India, will have to file written submissions in the next 7 days. So that is what is happening in the Qutub Minar case. And interestingly, this is going to probably and likely set a precedence as well. So this is about the monument and the temple case and Wapsi demand that is on.